Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Larry Jones TV. Hey, good people, I want to talk about crypto a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about changing your mindset for a little bit because this is Larry Jones TV, a little different than Stock Up with Larry Jones. We're going to talk about crypto here probably till the end of the year or a little longer, probably Q2, and then we're just going to just switch to just topics, okay? But let's get into some crypto. So I was looking at crypto and looking at what's going on and trying to figure out what's going on. But as you know, no one knows from day to day what's going on with these big liquidations. You guys know that Tom Lee was saying it was a glitch, and I'm not going to play that for you. Tom Lee said it was a glitch and that the worst case scenario for right now, the worst scenario that he sees is that it could probably, I'm talking about Bitcoin, go down to 77K. Now, this is Tom Lee. As you know, we broke beneath 84K. That was a key level of support, even though we're going to look at where it is right now. And he was saying, Tom Lee, this is Tom Lee, not Larry, because a lot of people want to come back and say, and Larry, you said. No, this is Tom Lee. He said that we could have a really fast snapback with crypto. And he's still saying that we could go back to his original targets. Now, this is Tom Lee. We're playing it one day at a time here. But I'm going to take the good with the bad, the negative with the positive, the bullish with the bearish scenarios, so we can have a plan. Now, my plan I'm going to share with you is to buy more. How long, Larry? For the next 4 years. And me personally, good people, the next 4 years is when I'll have all of my money into crypto over the next 4 years. This is my plan. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But this is what my plan is. You can let me know what your plan is. Now, here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the stock market, fear and greed. It's at extreme fear, right? When you look at crypto's fear and greed, it's at extreme fear. You see the red? Extreme fear. Last week, it was even more, right? Yesterday, it's a little less of extreme fear. So the crypto market, or should I say crypto itself, and the stock market are both at extreme fear. And people are fearful. They're just pulling their liquidity out, pulling their money out, risk off. Now, I'm also going to tell you that we're coming into a short week. We got Thanksgiving, but we also going to have light trading, okay? Because people are going to be flying and traveling, and it's going to be less momentum, and there'll be less money in. People are going to be risk off on the holidays. So you're going to see volume kind of drop, okay? And that's normal. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with the market. Now, I plan on getting ETFs. And this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to tell you guys right now, before we look in there, I'm going to tell you what I'm planning on doing. I've been talking about ETFs for a while. I'm in my full positions in my crypto accounts, but I've been talking about getting ETFs. Now, some of you guys don't like ETFs, but I'm going to tell you that wealthy people borrow against their equities, but then they keep their equities. Now, other crypto brokers are not up to that standard yet, right? But regular stock brokers are, like the Fidelities and the Schwab. So how do you get crypto from them? Through a vehicle called ETFs. Now, we have a Bitcoin ETF, we have an Ethereum ETF, and now we have an XRP ETF. So let's look at some of those. And why are you going to buy through ETFs? Let's say I want to do $100 a week. Okay. Right now, I'm going to start with about $10 a week at the current price, which we're going to look at. And then I'm going to increase as things go down. All right. And I'm just using that as a reference. Okay. So we got XRP ETFs. These are the XRP ETFs, right? And there's more to come. And the ETF that I'm looking at is just called XRP. It's just ticker symbol XRP. Now, if you look here, you have to be careful because this is just XRP USD. This is the current price of XRP. You can see XRP is up 6.3%, right? And you can see all of these, right? But Bitwise is the ETF that I'm going to go with. As you can see, XRP is down 3% through this ETF. Look at that. Boom. So now you have that ETF. And I'm going to explain further why I'm going for this ETF. I'm sorry, through an ETF. You could pick either ETF you want to, okay? Now, IBIT is Bitcoin's ETF. I have some IBIT ETFs, and I'm going to, again, continue to add to my ETFs, right? And then this is a list of the Ethereum ETFs, okay? You could pick the one that best suits you. Franklin and Grayscale has Ethereum ETFs in just about all of them, all right? So now let's look at crypto. Right now, over the last 24 hours, as it stands at the time of filming this, Bitcoin is up, let's just call that 3.5%. Ethereum up 1.9%. XRP over the last hour is flat, but 6% over the last 24 hours. And over the last 7 days, not necessarily a week, but 7 days. I know you're saying it's the same, but if you look at another chart and go to a week, you're going to see a different price. So let's just call that 6% down, right? Now, XRP yesterday was under $2. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to start buying while it's in extreme fear, right? So when we were live the other day, the squad, I asked, did some of you guys have XRP under $50, under 50 cents? And there was a lot of you guys that did. 43 cents, 40 cents. You know, some of you guys had it as low as 20 cents. So what are you saying? What I'm saying is, if you look at where XRP is right now, some of you guys had it at 20 cents. Okay, that's still a 10x. And so even if we are going into a crypto winter, then you're good. You're good to actually just simply add to your positions. Okay, that's what I think. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not saying that you're good and it's not going to dip beneath that. I'm saying you're in a better position than somebody that bought it at 350. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you're long crypto, this is something for you to wrap your mind around. Now, one of the key reasons that I'm making this is to not just discuss where XRP, ETH, and Bitcoin are, or crypto is, but to give you another thought pattern on how to accumulate. Now, wealthy people a lot of times don't sell their equities. If you buy ETH, Bitcoin, or XRP through an ETF, let's say you use Schwab or TD Ameritrade Fidelity, right? You can then borrow against it, right? From Fidelity. Now you can borrow against it. Of course, there's credit checks and all of that has to be done. Now, there is a company that I spoke to at the Bitcoin conference. I got to find the footage that they will give you a loan right now. But at the time, it was 12%. It's probably closer to 10% now that rates are coming down. But pretty much no questions asked. But they take custody of your crypto and they will give you up to 50%. If you got $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and it was based on Bitcoin, then they will give you, if you got 10,000, they would give you 5,000. You know, no credit check. All right. But they were at 12%. Okay. And so that's one of the things you say, why would I do that? If you're paying 29% on your credit cards, you can wipe your credit card debt off. Then you could start repayment at the 12%. This was last year during the Bitcoin conference. Follow. Then they are holding something that's ascending in value. All right. And they know that. So that's why the rate is where it is. Right. So you guys check on that. I don't remember the name of the company. I will look for that footage. I will find it and I will post it on my other page, Stock Up You. Okay. So here's what I think. I think anything could happen. I think Tom Lee could be right. Tom Lee could be right. We could have a recovery. Do I think that we could have a recovery? Yes. I think that even if we don't get back to 125,000, I see that we could bounce back up to 110,000 on Bitcoin, which will rise other altcoins, memes, so on. And so you can minimize your loss if you bought at the top. But at 110,000, a lot of you guys are back hold again. You're positive again. Me, I'm looking long term. I'm looking 4 years from now, 2030. So I'm just going to add to at a lower rate. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start with these ETFs, more Bitcoin, more Ethereum, and more XRP, especially in this price range. And I would start, if you're going to do $100 a week, start with $5 a week and see if it goes lower. Follow? And if you say, hey, I don't believe that Bitcoin is going below 80, then you could start accumulating at that point. Okay. But I am long. I got my eyes on the long goal right now. Let me know what you have your eyes set on. Larry, do you think crypto is over? I don't know. Do you think it could rebound and surpass 125K? Yes, but I gotta be for real. I think that is more of the 20%. And I believe that the 80% is that the top is already in. Okay. But just like that, you mean there's a chance? When the lady told him there's not a chance in HE double hockey stick, Dumb and Dumber, right? So what I'm saying is there is a chance, but that chance is getting smaller and smaller. What's the time period? I believe we're going to go into 2026 now. Yeah, I know. At first, it was the end of the year. Could it happen by the end of the year? It could. But now you're talking about 5%. So I'm just looking at percentiles in my head. You tell me what you think. All I know is regardless of what happens, I'm on the long game. I'm looking to one day having a $500,000 Bitcoin. And then we'll discuss whether I'll be selling then or not. All right, good people. So one of the things I want to end this one with, you guys excuse me, it's been a heck of a day. If you didn't see my other video, I almost hit a young lady and that thing had me jacked up. I'm not going to lie. It had me jacked. And so just trying to refocus. Now, I want to make 2 points. And this is my inspiration again. All right. I want to make 2 points. One is this. You could see Galatians 6 and 9. All right. There is a phrase, be not weary in well doing. And that phrase just simply means don't get tired if you're doing right. And I'm going to take this phrase or this scripture, right? You could see it right there. There it is. Galatians 6 and 9. It's a scripture. And I'm going to say, apply it to every area of your life. Be not weary in well doing. So if you're on a path to financial freedom, I'm saying, don't get tired if you're doing right. If you're buying companies that, have revenue. If you're buying layer ones and even with crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and you on a long game, don't get tired when times get hard, because that's what it's saying. Just don't get tired when time gets hard. Keep your eyes on the prize, right? And in life, if you're doing well by other people, because that's the test, that is the test, then don't get tired. Just know that doing right is the right thing. And there's a phrase that is attributed to Aristotle, and it says, "We are what we repeatedly do." You see that? We are what we repeatedly do. And that is the truth also. So if you repeatedly buy at the top and sell at the bottom, if you repeatedly eat junk and go to the hospital every 4 times a year, but you don't stop eating the junk, if you've been poor all your life because you made poor decisions, then you really need to understand we are what we repeatedly do. And, Wall Street has something called dumb money, and they call us dumb money to our faces. And I want you not to continue to be dumb money. And who is the dumb money? Pretty much 80%. Pretty much 80-20. Institutional market makers, they know this. They know you're going to react off of emotions. They know you're going to react off of emotions. They know that you're not going to be looking at the fear and greed. They know that you're not going to buy here, but you're going to buy here. Some of you guys listening to me right now, let's keep it honest. Let's keep it real. You're not touching crypto down here, but when it gets back up here, you're going to start buying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Some of you guys with stocks, you're not touching it down here. The PEs are going down. You're going to wait till it gets back up here, and then you're going to buy. And that's why they call you dumb money. That's emotions. Disconnect your emotions like a plug in a wall. Just disconnect it like a switch on the wall. Cut them off. And I want you to think about every position you have. If you truly believe long term that things will get better if you're working out, if you think that, hey, I need to grow spiritually, then you need to grow spiritually and stop doing the stupid things. I did a lot of stupid things in my life, right? But this is so true. We are what we repeatedly do. So what I do now is I do the polar opposite of every single thing I used to do. The polar opposite. When you know better, you do better, right? Even the way you treat people, and especially the way you treat people that don't look like you. When you know better, you do better. So right behind we are what we repeatedly do, I'm going to say, now that you know better, are you doing better? I'm going to leave it right there, good people. We will see you next time on Larry Jones TV, okay? Live, love, laugh, and learn.